Hi Capricorn, welcome to your monthly scopes. Please keep in mind this is only a general reading. Take what it feels right and with what resonates with your own life experiences at the moment. I also apologize for the delay on these videos, but I haven't been able to be as regular here on YouTube as I would like to. We all are going through a lot of changes in our lives, and I'm in the phase of a restructuring of my own. So there's things that will not come as easy as I would like to, but I appreciate all the support or all the love that has been shown to me by your comments, by your likes, by your subscriptions, and it really means a lot to me. And hopefully, in the following months, I'll be able to be much more regular, like I was talking about here on these messages that I try to bring to you. So Capricorn, the month of July, it's heavy. It's a heavy duty month. It's a month of acknowledging some points of your own life that are not okay. That are really needing that restructure that I was talking about, and that you may have been delaying, that you may have been postponing from some sense of fear of change, fear of transformation, and a fear of a new phase of your own life, a phase where you'll be much more free, much more, much more innocent in the way you handle, much more crazy, but in the good sense, where you'll be able to just breathe and do whatever you feel like doing without thinking uh, too much, without worrying too much, without having that fear attached with every single risk you try to take on. And you want to risk something. You want to begin a new stage in your life in some area. You want to walk away from a situation and just have a leap of faith and jump into a new phase. But you're also deeply afraid that is a mistake. You're afraid of letting go of responsibilities you think um, you have to carry on forever. And it's time to really do that inner reflection. You also are called to be much more intuitive, passive, reflexive of your own life, so you can understand what those situations are really talking about in your own specific case. But in a general sense, it's about letting go of things you are emotionally attached to, but that are no longer serving you in your best interest, that are no longer fulfilling you emotionally as well, that are no longer bringing you joy and growth. So there's something you are attached to, and you begin the month really acknowledging that maybe it's time to walk away. And now it's just about the strategy, what you're going to do about it. Are you going to take a risk, take a leap of faith, walk away from a situation that really may be hard for you to walk away from because you have emotions, you have real strong emotions connected to the situation, but you also know that that something has come to its end, and it's only about you being honest about it, being honest with yourself, honest with other people that may be involved in the situation, honest with anything that ties in with this process of letting go. And you begin the month of July really aware that you could have all the month of July with a strong focus on things you need to tie and need to end and need to release, because it's a heavy burden for you. It has been burdening you, it has been repressing a lot of your energy, and it's time to really um, put an end, put closure to it. But this closure, if you really want to, because there's emotions connected with it, this closure can be a really beautiful one. Not all process of letting go, not all goodbyes, not all see you later stages are bitter or are hard. It's harsh because we see and we understand that we're going to miss something. We're going to miss something that that person gives us or that situation gives us. But we also know that our work there has been done. So even though you really deeply love that person or that circumstance, you also know that you have something more. You have a calling waiting for you, and that it's time to uh, say goodbye to that situation, understanding that goodbyes are not irreversible, that goodbyes are not, in my opinion, there's not really endings. There's only continuously stages of transformation that will change the scenario. But what's truly there for you will always remain. And that's why we have memories. That's why we have so much uh, sometimes nostalgia associated with these situations from the past, but that come to us in a good sense, in a comforting sense. So whatever it is, it's time for you to release, and it's time for you to understand that there's a journey awaiting for you, and in that journey you will have to say goodbye to something that you are emotionally invested to, and that is causing you anxiety, because you don't want to really, you're trying to conciliate too much. You're trying to have everything, have the possibility of that new beginning and still carry the heavy burdens that you have been carrying. And also obviously this creates a big imbalance, because you need to put things again in the right place. So if you have a lot of responsibilities and a lot of fears and anxieties, of course that new beginning and that leap of faith will be um, will be delayed constantly, because the tendency is to create even more burdens and more responsibilities if you only putting your focus, your attention, and your priorities there. So there's a need for balance about what it's really your take on life, your role on life, and what you have been accomplishing up until now, and what you're wanting to create, what you're wanting to explore, what you're wanting to begin with. The fear of flying, the resistance scar, the fear itself to this letting go process, of course, is transformation reversed. So the fear is the change. The fear is shedding your own skin in the situation and allowing it to resurface with a new one that will glow much more vibrantly, much more in tune with deeply what your soul is craving. So you're fearing. There's a real big fear about change right now happening, and there's this feeling that Capricorns are really strong and are really stubborn in having that security sense in their lives, and you can be at the same time your focus, even though is and that awareness is coming to you that there's certain aspects of your life that you need to let go of. There's also another side of you that keeps telling you that you can handle it, you can handle it, you can handle it, and you can handle it till a point of exhaustion and a point where you'll be really drained out, because you're creating this wall that it's not allowing your life design to free flow in you, because you are very resistant when you want to, and you are very strong. So you keep going and you keep going and you keep going, and there's little that makes you stop and just have this action of forgetting everything and walking away. There's really little triggers that can make you act as foolish as that. But you're coming to a point of exhaustion, and you're coming to a point of saturation. So sooner or later there will be a break in some area of your life that will call your attention, and that situation, that rupture, will be a reality check for you, where you have to understand that your unconscious is attracting situations for you to be aware of the things you are resisting, the transformation you are resisting in your life. And if you are resisting so much, and you can do that brilliantly, what will happen is your unconscious will attract situations that will force you to confront with the truth, which is also the response to how release this fear of transformation and put that card in the upright position, which is politics. So we all have this politic inside of us, and we all carry these masks. We all carry um, this defense mechanism, this idea that we cannot show our true colors, we cannot show our vulnerabilities, we cannot show who we really are because we will be judged. We will not attain the success that we want. We will not be understood. We will blah 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 blah. There's a lot of conditionings in since we begin to even be aware of what the world is. Um, there's a lot of conditionings in the idea that we cannot be our true selves. So we have to create this defense, and the defense is about creating a mask that suits the environment we are raised on, and later we socially fit ourselves into. So we all have this politic in us, where we use the mask to project to the world what we want to attract from it. But the problem is that mask is not coming from yourself. It's not coming from your desires. It's not coming from who you really are. So sooner or later, the mask will fall, because your your perceived weaknesses in your true self will have to surface, so other people will be surprised and will not understand that's not the person, that's not the Capricorn I knew all my life. And you have been wearing a mask for some time, probably because you feel like you really need to carry on those responsibilities and that role you are wired into to play in your life and others people's life and expectations, because either if you are a parent, you are a wife, you are a husband, you are a CEO of a big company, you are anything that carries the word responsibility associated with it, you'll think you will have to constantly wear this mask, so you can take those endeavors on and you can take that role on, even if you know deeply inside of you that that role is not yours anymore, and that you're wanting something more. You're wanting to experience, maybe for the first time in your life, a much more emotional tie, spiritual connection with yourself, with your experiences, with the meaning of life itself. And that's why you're really unsatisfied with some area of your life, but you are trying to leave them on, and you're trying to continue with them, even though knowing that it's not bringing you happiness or satisfaction. So the way through this transformation to happen, and not to be a fear but to be a motivation into this new life, new experiences. It's about taking that mask off, maybe looking at the mirror and looking to yourself deeply, in a deeper state of awareness, of non-judgmental attitude, where you'll just acknowledge much more of yourself than you have been allowing to. So you have to take the mask off. You have to show people who you really are. You have to show the world who you really are. And it takes a lot of courage to do that. And it takes a lot of guts to do that. But if someone can do it, and if someone has the ability to do that, it's also you. Because you are a very strong sign, and you are really aware of your goals, and that you have something to accomplish in your life. There's a sense of destiny really tied in with Saturn and your ruler and Capricorn itself. So you know there's something for you to accomplish. And maybe you thought for a while that it was connected with the situation you are in, and now you understand that it's not. So it's okay. It's okay to recognize something that you thought it was worth it and it's not anymore. There hasn't have to be a sense of failure in that. There's no failure. It was an experience. It was something where you learned and you have grown so much because you passed and you experienced all of it. So be really honest with yourself in the month of July. The more honest you are with what you feel, what your real needs are, what your real desires are. If you need to show people an attitude completely different from what they usually expect from you, show them. Don't be afraid of judgment. And as well, don't try to hide. Don't lie. Don't deceive, because that will come back to you in the same way, creating bigger blockages in the sense of having to wear a mask. There's no better defense mechanism than just opening up and receiving every single aspect of life. Because the idea that we have to defend ourselves constantly, in my opinion, is what creates fear itself, and insecurities and paranoia, and the feeling that we need constantly to wear that mask. So it's a hard job to do, to quit being a politic of your own life. This could also, of course, and always, like I say in my videos, either if this politics, these people wearing masks, even if this is not you, this could come in the behavior of someone else in your life, where you see a facade, where you see something falling, and you understand that you are living a lie associated with that person or with that circumstances. This can always goes both ways, but the message is always the same. It's your unconscious self trying to make you aware that it's enough. It's enough of wearing or needing to wear a mask and being afraid to show your vulnerabilities. So, your intuition is a card called repression. So, your intuition is blocked in the sense, and your intuition is not being able to come to you in the way as it should, because you are really 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 repressed, and you are really tired, and you have a lot on your plate, and you have a lot of responsibilities, like I was telling, and you have a lot going on, and you feel like you need to contain, repress. You are repressing your own vital energy, and you are creating a state of exhaustion or explosion that will come sooner or later for you to release all that stuck energy that creates so many unhealthy feelings and situations with your body, with your mind, with your life, with everything. This card, it's really the point of saturation to its highest extent. It's like that second, that minute before the volcano erupts, that minute before the earthquake shatters everything. So there's a real sense of attention here for you to understand that you have not been allowing your intuition to come to you, your guidance in the situation to come to you, because you have been repressing it a lot in order, again, to fulfill that role, to fulfill that mask, that facade in your life that you're really trying with your strength, which is huge, to carry on, even though knowing it's time to sit down with that person, sit down with that situation, and just make amends with it and say the goodbyes, so you can go on a new journey that has been waiting for you. So your intuition is repressed, but The answer for that is a very high intuitive card, which is receptivity, which is water, which is emotions, which is spirituality, which is connecting with your own ability to just listen to yourself, listen to other people, listen to the messages, the subtle um, sensitive feelings you receive um, in your environment, in your surrounding, when you pay attention to your dreams, pay attention to any signs that are coming to you, because you are repressing a lot of that intuition, so it will come to you in many usual understood ordinary situations, like a dream or a situation where you wouldn't usually normally not pay attention. This month, pay attention. Understand that if you want to release that repression, that feeling of being so tired, you have to listen. You have to take a break. You have to be quiet, be in silence, so you can understand what's going on. So it's also July. It's also maybe you're not able to resolve the situation in the month of July because maybe there's a lot of um, responsibilities, again, like I was saying, associated with that, and it's not in 1 month that you'll be able to deal with all of them. But it's in the month of July that you really start to understand in a much deepest sense what you really need to do and what's your real desire and what's your intuition telling you. So uh, take advantage of maybe that tired feeling to take a break, to just, if you can, to just take those days, those moments just to yourself, to be so in tune with your own feminine intuitive energy inside of you, even if you are a man or a woman. Just take a break. Take a break. Do anything that fulfills you emotionally, because that can also trigger your intuition. That can also help you unleash that all that has been contained inside of you. It's time to let the waters flow, either from a cry, either from anything. Just let it flow. Let it flow. And um, good ways to do that is to connect with what makes your heart happy. If you like to swim and you really enjoy that, you really feel good when you do that, but you have been having the time and you blah, 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 go do that. Go do that this month. If you really enjoy painting and have been able to do that because you're so busy, 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 take a break and dwell, merge with that painting process, with that art process, because what you're doing is you are giving an opportunity for your emotions to freely express themselves, which will create an appropriate channel for that repression card to be to breathe, to be able to release and let go of many things you don't want to hold on to anymore. What you need to relax and accept is the outsider card. So, what you need to relax and accept is that feeling of not living the life you want, that feeling of always being excluded from the right of happiness, from the right of joy, from the right of just enjoying life like you see other people enjoying, with that lightness of being sense. You need to relax and accept is that the only thing keeping you from having that opportunity in your life is yourself, and the feeling that you are too small, that you don't have any support or any strength to be able to open that gate and go after your own personal rainbow. So what you need to relax and accept is anytime you feel struck by that feeling of guilt, of bitterness and sorrow because you don't have the right, you feel like life is not giving you the right to be happy and be free and be that inner beautiful child you were always meant to be. um, it's time for you to take responsibility for your own life. So you are a very responsible sign, but in the same sense, you are avoiding looking at the real responsibilities you are not taking on, which is your own right of happiness and your own right of just expressing yourself and expressing your needs and desires as they are, without wanting to mask them, without having to constantly put some makeup on it, because so people can not judge it as you think if your true self would express itself would be judged. So what you need to relax and accept is the only thing keeping you in the outside line, keeping you from having the life you desire is yourself. And the minute you understand that, and the minute you take charge of your own right of happiness, you'll have that strength to open the gate and walk in the direction of your own whatever happiness, whatever goals you're trying to accomplish in your life. And the new state of awareness all this spread leads on to in the end of the month is inner voice, which is beautiful because you have a lot of situations requiring deep observation and deep awareness and ability to listen and ability to understand and ability to tap into your intuition. So, the new state of awareness you come to is being much more in tune first with yourself, with your soul, with the fountain of information that doesn't come from the mind and it doesn't come from the logic and the facts. It comes from the source of your own knowledge where your soul, your heart guides you into really what you want, um, really what's your life design, your life purpose that is surfacing during this time. So the new state of awareness you come to is acknowledging that you have all the wisdom inside of you, that you have all the ability to be much more relaxed and acceptant of things you cannot control, which is you can be in a fight between yourself because in one hand you want to you can be a control freak. So in one hand you are constantly trying to control everything and you're seeing that slipping away from you and you're seeing that there's not any control you can have in situations outside of yourself. The only thing you have is your heart and your soul and your wisdom and that guidance. And there's a real emotional intelligence associated with this inner voice. So you become aware of your truth and you become aware of what really you need to do probably in August to start taking those active steps to walk into the new journey, to allow that transformation that is blocking you to be a motivation and become a pride. So you willingly change and you willingly let go of anything keeping you from walking and beginning that new stage of your life. So Capricorn, I wish you a great month of July. Thank you for listening, liking, and subscribing. And hopefully we'll see each other next month in August.